Hey, I'm Ryan from the Burnout Show, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to rotate your tires on your car. First of all, what is rotating? Rotating your tires just means taking the back tires and putting them onto the fronts. This is important because it'll reduce your tire wear and increase the life of your tires, allowing you to not buy new tires as often. So the front tires are going to wear down faster than your back tires because of the turning when you're turning your car. So this is why it's important to swap them, because they actually do wear down at different speeds, and that's what's going to allow you to save your tires. So you're supposed to rotate your tires every 5,000 miles, and this is actually good because it will often coincide with when you need to get an oil change. Most cars will need to get an oil change between 3,000 miles and 6,000 miles. And so if you're getting an oil change every 6,000, you'll just put off your rotations for another 1,000 and do it when you get your oil change. But let's go ahead and show you how to do this yourself. The first step is going to be jacking up one side of your car. And you can do this one at a time and put a jack stand under the first tire and then do the other one. I'm gonna just do them both at the same time and try to jack it up high enough to get both tires off the ground. I'm gonna take my jack and put it underneath. Most cars are unibody nowadays, so that means they'll have a pinch weld instead of a frame. And the pinch weld is just a flat piece of metal that runs all the way along the side of the car, and you wanna make sure you get your jack on that pinch weld. So now that we've got both tires off the ground, you can grab your impact if you have one, or just your lug nut wrench. I'm gonna go ahead and take all the lug nuts off of this tire and then move up to the front. All right. Anytime you have your tires off the car is a great time to check your brakes and see how long you have until you need to replace your brakes. Now let's take off the front. So this tire right here is the front tire, and I'm not sure how well you can see it in the camera, but you can tell that it is a little bit more worn down than the back tire. So it's a good thing that we're doing this today. So now we'll just take the front tire and mount it up onto the back. Just gotta make sure you line up the holes with the studs, and then get your lug nuts and start tightening them on. You just need to start threading them. You don't need to thread them down very much, but you just want to start threading them to make sure that you don't gack the threads with the impact. So now I'll tighten these down with the impact. I'm not gonna go too tight because I actually have a torque wrench that I will use to set the proper torque. But if you don't have a torque wrench, just crank them down until they stop moving. You don't want to over tighten them because you can actually mess up the threads that way, but obviously if they're too loose, then the lug nuts will fall off over time. So you just tighten them pretty well. So now I've got the rear tire hooked up on the front, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten down those lug nuts. Now if you are using a lug nut wrench or other hand tools, you won't be able to tighten these down all the way while the tires are in the air. So just get them snug, and then you can put the tire down and then fully tighten them on the ground. But now that I've got both tires locked down onto the car, I'm gonna go ahead and drop it back on the ground. So now that the tires are back on the ground, we can go ahead and double check the torque with our torque wrench, or if you're just using a lug nut wrench, you can finish tightening them now. So while you're tightening these down, I should mention that you should tighten these in a star pattern. So go across the wheel and hit all the lug nuts in that order. So for this car, I am doing 80 foot-pounds of torque for these lug nuts. It varies per car, per model, but typically 80 on a small car like this is a good mark. So you can just repeat this process for the other side, and now you've rotated your tires and you'll be good to go for another 5,000 miles. So that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about this, or if you have other ideas for videos you'd like to see. And make sure to leave a like if you found this helpful, and definitely subscribe if you're not. And while you're down there, you'll notice a blue join button right next to the subscribe button. You can go ahead and click on that and check out our different membership programs. Our members help us out a bunch and directly support us in making more and better content for you guys. So if you like our videos, or if you found this helpful, go check that out and consider joining. But that's gonna be all for this video. So thank you for watching, and I hope this helped.